S.STREET Media. Y'all see that logo right there? Go to S.STREET Media. We are live on YouTube right now. All right. What's up? How you doing? Oh, we ain't test the mics.
Yeah, let's hold it. Talk to yours.
Test on 1, 2.
1, 2.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? It's Coach D. It's Code 31. We got a very special show tonight, the Autism Edition show. Everything good. I'm live on my show right now. Y'all see my guests.
Try to talk again, Quinn.
Hey, I look good in that earphone. I like your phone better than mine. Hey.
Yes, sir. So tonight is a very special night. And again, this show is sponsored by No Saleh, which is the parents. Ellison backwards. So he's sponsored by them. And then I'm wearing We All In clothing line. Shout out to my boy Chris Queens. Get the money. One with the bag t-shirt by We All In clothing. So y'all can go on his website. Y'all can go on the Coliseum block. He has his own store now. I remember when he was in the Coliseum. Now the man has his own store.
They're ready for it.
Great things.
Yes.
Great things.
The S.STREET Media thing is up. Wait, let's stop this 1 second.
Tap the screen, share the live, guys. If anybody has autism in their family, this is the show y'all need to watch right now. Right now on TikTok, on YouTube, S.STREET Media, and on her phone on Facebook.
I'm about to hit the live. I ain't do it yet.
All right, hit the live.
We are live now. It's about to start, y'all.
Okay, starting.
Okay, so
Thank you, God, for this blessing.
Starting. The warning sign is up. Warning sign is up. S.STREET Media opening is going on. I'll give you the hand clap. Hang on. Yeah, ready?
how y'all doing? This is Coach D, Code 31 Media TV Podcast, episode number 8. Okay, and this is a very special edition of Code 31 Media TV Podcast because we are talking about autism tonight. And I would like to introduce my guest. Well, I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Introduce yourself, young lady.
Yes, ma'am. I want to thank you, Coach D. My name is Dr. Monroe. I'm the founder and CEO of the Autism Project, FLOS, for the Love of Shaquan Incorporated.
Okay, so
That's who I am.
let my audience know, like, what I know you say your son was born with autism, but
right.
like, start with
Yes,
how do you,
yes.
like, get invested in the world of autism.
Gotcha. Well, Shaquan, my son, he's 31 now, but he was born in 91. I was a fairly young mom. Didn't know anything about autism, never even heard about autism before I gave birth to him. I had him, he was more typical at first, the first 2 years or so, more typical. And then before he turned age 3, he went through a metamorphosis, a change. He regressed in a lot of learned abilities. He lost his speech. To this day, he's still nonverbal. It's like he forgot a lot of stuff, but that's part of how it works with when autism show itself for the most part. The regression.
So how do you give the people who may not know anything what the definition of autism is?
Autism is a spectrum of abilities and deficits. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Because it's a spectrum, but there's also spectrums within that spectrum.
Okay.
So you can have someone that has autism that has a normal IQ, is not developmentally challenged at all,
Okay.
Can read write, speak, develop like the average person.
Okay.
But them being on the spectrum caused them to have a lot of difficulties with their social interactions,
Okay.
with their peers, how they speak and how they understand.
Mm-hmm.
The more severe on the mid of the spectrum or on the other end may be someone midway that's nonverbal.
Okay.
Or even high function nonverbal, but they just cannot properly interact
Okay.
socially. So you might say, "Hey, how you doing?" to me, and if I'm autistic, depending where I am on the spectrum, it might take me a minute to process what you said and respond to you in a proper way. I might respond to you in a proper way. I may respond to you in an improper way.
Or just look at me.
I
like
might
I'm
say
crazy.
whatever if I'm not
Yeah.
verbal and I don't have
Yeah.
external language.
Yes.
It's a whole host of ways I can respond. You know what I'm saying? So it's very complicated. It's not one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals on the spectrum are individuals on the spectrum. They are all different, whether they're high, mid, low functioning. They may have similarities,
Okay.
but them being the person that they are makes them unique with the disorder.
Okay, so you had your son in 1991.
I had my son in 1991. I was 22.
Okay, and you said in the 2 years that's when the decline came.
And in 2 years, he was more typical.
Okay.
Before he turned age 3 is when he, like maybe 2.5-ish, almost 3, somewhere in there. That's when he started having the regressions.
Okay, and was that after vaccination?
Yes.
Okay.
In my opinion. And I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you why I say that. My aunt is I'm going through it with my son.
Mhm.
All right, he's having his issues, he's having his problems. I'm going to doctors trying to figure out what's going on.
Mhm.
And I was getting 1,000,001 stories.
Mhm.
The diagnosis of autism didn't come until he was 9.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a whole lot of time in between. But my aunt is who brought it to my attention. Did you know what? Before he got that last MMR, the 3-in-1 shot,
Mhm.
he was pretty fine. But after that shot is when we started seeing a change in him. I didn't even realize that.
Mhm.
I didn't realize until I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You got a point there.
Mhm.
Now, some people say it is a vaccine.
Mhm.
Some people say it's not,
Mhm.
depending on who you talk to.
Mhm.
But what I can say for sure,
Mhm.
vaccines do save lives. They do help, but vaccines have a lot of stuff in it. And if you knew what was in a vaccine,
Side effects.
you would not want to take it yourself.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Yes,
Yeah.
it can affect people adversely.
Mhm.
So that's the whole battle going on with the vaccine. Some
So
people are
if
forced
they
to take it.
diagnosed him 9 years later, what they determined was for the first 8 years?
Oh,
that he
the
was-
diagnosis. Okay, so from 3.5 up to that point, took him to a children's hospital. You figure children's hospital specialize in a lot of childhood disabilities, disorders, and things like that. He was misdiagnosed.
Mhm.
To me, if you don't have the right diagnosis, you're misdiagnosed. So he
Mhm.
got multiply disabled, which is a lot. Multiply disabled and other health impaired are the two diagnoses that they give to kids when they are showing certain signs, but they haven't pinpointed what it is. Like the person, the doctor that's looking at them and reviewing them
Mhm.
don't connect the dots and see that it's autism. So
Okay.
he was nonverbal.
Okay.
That was a fact.
Mhm.
He wasn't making eye contact. That was a fact.
Mhm.
But this is in 93 or 4. At this time, autism wasn't as heightened as it is. Now
Okay.
autism is all over the place.
Yes.
And people, the average person may even say, you know what, he's probably on the spectrum. But at that time, it was a lot of things going on with him
Mhm.
that looks obvious now. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, but it should have been caught, it should have been seen.
Mhm.
But he wasn't diagnosed with autism. They gave him everything else.
Okay, they gave him everything else, but what kind of medication did they have from him?
He wasn't on medication right away.
So how did you handle nonverbal?
So
was he acting up
He
around
was
that time?
not, okay, nonverbal definite, autistic, looking back, definite. Language was definitely a problem because like he understood it and then all of a sudden he didn't, right?
Okay.
So he was doing more stuff like he was very hyperactive, like had a lot of energy.
Okay.
Regressing his ability. So even though he might have been 2.5, 3, he was acting a lot younger.
Okay.
Right, that's the regression.
Okay.
He didn't have bad behaviors like hitting and fighting, and he didn't have that
Okay.
early on. That's a learned behavior too, by the way.
Okay.
He didn't have that, but there were certain milestones that he obviously did not hit.
Okay.
That was the concern for me because I knew something wasn't right.
Okay.
And this is why I was taking him to doctors, but he still wasn't being diagnosed properly. Now you have to understand, I'm a young mom. I don't know nothing about autism, so I don't know he needs to get speech, occupational therapy. I don't know that these are the things that he needs. So part of my journey, that was something I had to learn and figure out later on, which means my son slipped through the cracks.
Yes.
So regardless to if your child is diagnosed with autism, whether they high functioning or low, or if they started off low but got the proper support they needed, and then was able to move further down the development, so they're not delayed developmentally, they still have it.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no cure, nothing like that. They still have it. But
so when like a Tony Braxton or somebody says, "Oh, my son was cured from autism," like it's
like I said, I'm not a medical professional, but it's like you Black and you use fake cream. You still Black. You just got white skin now because you use fake cream. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I understand it and put it together. Okay. So she's a person that has income. She has the means. She don't have to worry about Medicaid. She ain't got to wait around. That's a whole nother problem too. Parents that are lower income have to deal with. But she's a person that has the funds that she can throw at the problem. So she can go do experimental therapies, do the therapies that know that work, because everything doesn't work for every kid, right? And she was fortunate to get the help she needed for her kid when he needed it, and he was able to blossom. So the trace of autism that's blatant, you don't see it in him anymore because he got that support when he needed it. Other kids, their parent has to first figure out what it is. Hopefully get to the right doctor that will tell you straight up, get ABCD, get it right now, you know what I'm saying? And then you can get the help. So that's number 2. So if you don't get the things that you need for your child when they need it, not that they can't get better, just that it's a delay. And they spend more time in that world of being autistic and not being able to come to the door of reality and opening it and walking through it and be able to come be a so-called more normal, like the average person, can be a lot depending on where they started from.
So I know there's a few people, a few of my friends that have children and grandchildren, and some of them like have no clue where to start. What advice would you give somebody that's in that situation?
I will tell you what happened to me. When Shaquan was going through this regression, all the elders, like older mothers, grandma, oh, girl, ain't nothing wrong with him. You know how boys are. You are the mother, and I knew something wasn't right. I knew something was not right, but I was listening and not listening. If you know in your gut something's not right, it does not hurt to check it out. If they are just playing make-believe or whatever, that's fine. But if it's something more, you don't want to not check it out.
But like, where do they go? Like, where the resources are?
You first, listen to yourself. And that's the first thing. Moms, if you know something is not right, listen to yourself and go seek the help. So what you want to do is you want to go to one of the developmental pediatricians. Who is more of an expert, is like a specialist in where kids need to be at certain stages, where they should be at certain stages, what they should be saying, how many words in their vocabulary, and things like that. The speech, the language, the understanding, the connections, stuff like that. So you want to try to seek that out. If for some reason the developmental pediatrician in your area doesn't take Medicaid, which could happen, take them to a children's hospital, which should have a special. That's what I did. I mean, that didn't help me, but where you live at, you might have a excellent hospital, children's hospital. Take them there, and then don't give up. Keep going until you get the help that you need. Don't get frustrated and don't feel like you're defeated, because I went through all of that. And then most of all,
and the stigmatism of
the stigma, that's a whole nother story. And also being a parent, because you don't know everything about autism or don't know what to do or when to do it at the right time. Whenever you get your mind right and you get the strength up to say, you know what, this is my baby, I'm gonna do what I gotta do for my baby. From that point on, just move forward and don't feel guilty, because that's what I felt guilty. It took me a minute to get my mind right. You hold the guilt, you feel guilty because the child has a disability, and you may feel guilty because you didn't move when you were supposed to move. It's going to be a lot of different changes that you go through, but you want to just move forward.
And
keep trying until you keep, until you get some help.
I want to say to my best friend Karen, like I said, Danny is 19, and when he was born with autism. I didn't know anything about it, so I wasn't really you know, in tune with everything she was going through then, and like all these years later, he's you know, doing great. He's
That's
in
a blessing.
college, you know, working. He
That's a
bowls.
blessing. That's a blessing.
And so now that I have this platform, and a couple of years ago, I created the Autism Affiliates. And I did that, you know, on his behalf because I'm like, you know what? I wasn't there for him, but now that I have the attention on me with Code 31, I want to bring awareness to autism. I want to do a celebrity basketball game, something like that. That's why I wanted to build with you. And there was other people in the past that I wanted to build with, but, you know, things happen. So,
everything is written.
Everything definitely is written. And I'm also going to be doing an issue of Code 31 Media Magazine on autism. So I want to get at least maybe 15 to 20 families to be featured in Code 31 Media Magazine. And the whole issue will be about autism.
Yes.
So I want you to tell me, at what age did you finally get him the treatment that he needed, and when did you see the vision of you creating your own platform for autism?
All right, the treatment is ongoing. Okay, in my situation, it's ongoing. Now he's 31. He does take medications. He gains some weight. My son is gorgeous. He's very handsome. Oh yeah, let me show you my baby. This is one. I don't know if you can see that.
That's right there.
He's very handsome young man. Oh. Very handsome young man.
This camera.
Oh, this camera? Okay.
Smiles $1 million, you know what I'm saying? But the key is getting them the support when they need it. Because as they get older, past puberty, some of the behaviors and some of the things that they are comfortable and they get set in, it's hard to get them out of it. Nothing is impossible. But this is why it's important to get the services and the support that you need. And it's not always easy finding it. A lot of single moms are dealing with this. Autism affects boys almost 5 times more than girls. So a lot of moms are dealing with this alone and by themselves. A lot of fathers are out. So this is why one of the events that I do during the year, the Father's Day Juneteenth celebration, I honor the fathers that stay and be a backbone of support to their son and to the mother and to the whole family unit, whether they're in a relationship with the mom or not. They're there for their son and or daughter. You know
so what's the differences in boys and in girls?
So many and none at the same time. Autism is very complicated, but what you will see a little bit more, I will say, is girls that have autism. There are girls that have autism that are affected severely, but usually, see, I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to like say this out, but from my experience and what I have been able to learn and find out, girls that have it have a milder form, or it's just presented differently. Put it that way, it's presented differently. So they might be socially a little bit awkward, or something might be off, and you might not pinpoint it, but it's autism, right? Boys is a little bit more blatant because boys and girls are a little bit different in their behavior and how they grow and how they learn anyway. You know what I'm saying? Boys are more physical for the most part. Now, they've got some physical girls out here too, but I'm just saying boys are more physical. The typical boy that they try to put in special ed all crazy all the time, they're moving, they're growing, they want to stretch, they want to, you know, they karate chop, you know how they do. And sitting in a classroom like they're in church is not something that boys always want to do. So when you get a boy that has a learning disability or a boy who is gifted, because there's a lot of kids who are on the spectrum that are gifted, half of them are gifted when it comes to academics. They already know what you're trying to teach them and they ain't paying you no mind. But the other half of them socially is where the autism part comes in. They're immature still. They don't interact properly. So boys are physical, you know what I'm saying? They want to run, they want to jump, they want to play and stuff like that. Girls can be physical as well, but they're a little bit different emotionally and stuff like that. So it is different. There's differences, but that's how I come to know it. As a mom first and as a, you know, coming to, I'm starting this not-for-profit up. So as my son was growing and I was seeing how agile he was, and physically, he was no problem physically, not a problem. I was looking at him like saying, Dad, I'd like to put him in like a gymnastic class or a basketball camp or something so he can get like that physical, because he had a lot of energy to get that off. There was nowhere. That's but except my son with special needs, right? And that I could afford. So there was actually a gymnastics club. It was like $500 a month. How am I going to find? like $400 or $500 a month
So
just
is there,
for
are
that.
there programs now for kids?
Things are a lot better, and a lot of moms are at the head of it.
Mhm.
So there's a basketball non-for-profit. I forget the name, but I think Lizette is her name,
Okay.
and she started it for her son. That's
Okay.
on the spectrum.
Okay.
So that's one program,
Is
right?
that in Yonkers?
That's
or-
in the Bronx, actually.
Okay,
That's in
okay.
the Bronx. And there's things like that parents start up. And there are, I know about one in Yonkers, a karate class. They have some
Okay.
special needs kids there. So I even started a hip hop little intro of 4 sessions, hip hop, DJing classes, and then I
Nice.
added the 4 elements. So it was like something
Nice.
different each time. And anything can be modified.
What
You know
about
what I'm
art
saying?
classes?
Art classes too, but that was, I kind of made it artsy and musicy at the
Okay.
same time. You know, I did it as a curriculum, but it was offering something different. And the whole fashion shows that I had started 3
Yes.
years ago,
Yes.
something different too.
Yes.
I just wanted to show the world that regardless of where your child is, high, low, or medium functioning,
Mhm.
or whether you want to put them medically,
Yes.
that they still have something that they can give to us and show us about their personality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That they're special in their own way.
Okay.
So all of the programs that I run and do, whether if it's fitness, I started a fitness program too, was a fitness, what's the third one? I can't, it escapes me right now. When I remember it,
And
I'll
it's
say
a
it.
it's a non-for-profit. So
It's
you
a not,
get
so it's
grant
all free. I
money.
got a grant for that. So
That's
I don't
awesome.
charge for that. So it's
That's
each
awesome.
one of the programs is the program, whatever it is. If it's fitness,
Mhm.
you have the fitness class, you learn a little bit about body and stuff like that. So there's fitness, there's like an arts and crafts session.
Okay.
So it's more hands-on for them.
Yes.
And then after that, we feed them.
Nice.
So for the fitness, we try to get something healthy, getting our kids off the chicken nuggets and fries.
Yes.
And pizza, especially if they're on the spectrum, they only eat 1 or 2 things.
Yes.
Very hard. It's a combination of textures and
Yeah, like
you
my
know.
friend's grandson, he won't eat certain things.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's
what it
very
is.
smart. Like she'll try to put it in stuff,
Nah,
and he's
that ain't
like,
gonna work.
nah.
It's very, very.
He's four. Like
It's very,
he's
very
like,
hard.
nah.
That
Like
might
she's
take
on the phone with me,
time.
like, nah. I said, yo, you can't put it in there.
Mm-mm.
She said, nah. He's
See,
smart.
First
Like,
of all,
he
they can
knows.
smell it.
Yes.
See, certain things, whenever you have any type of a disability, other things get heightened.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he could smell it, and if he can't smell it when he put it in his mouth, the texture is completely. You think he don't know that that's in there?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to blend it, and then it's still gonna the taste
I mean,
is still gonna be
my
different.
doctor sister used to do that with me. Like if I didn't want to take my medication for my pain,
Mhm.
she would put it in my food and my drink.
And you was good.
And I was knocked out. She was like,
Yeah,
come
but
on,
you
eat
ain't
this.
like.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, let me hear. I made
Yeah.
you something.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this
Right.
is good. Yeah. And then she tells me later on, like, yeah, I used to put your medicine in your food.
Yeah.
And your drinks.
Yeah, whatever works. But it was me just basically.
So how do you
watching.
handle that? How does, because like she has a 4-year-old grandson and he's like,
That's a hard one. That's a hard one because my son was a little bit like that. At first, he ate a little bit of everything. When he went through the change, he got fixated on certain things only.
Okay.
That's gonna take. You keep trying. As they grow older, their taste buds change a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not no overnight type
Okay.
thing. I mean, not unless we find a neurologist that's found the key to it.
Okay.
But it's not because it takes time. They gotten used to, you know, how it feels in their mouth, how it makes them feel, that they connected to it. So something completely new with completely the texture and smell that's gonna be hard. This whole autism thing is no joke for a parent to try to tackle.
And you're saying that he's 31 now?
Yeah, he'll be 32 in July.
So, and he's nonverbal.
He's nonverbal.
So how do you communicate with him around all these
Well,
years?
me and him, we kind of know each other so well. That doesn't mean nothing because he's not saying words. So sometimes I still don't know what's going on.
Okay.
And this is why it's important that you get the support and service that you need early on. Because when my son was learning sign language, one of the things that the sign language teacher, whoever was trying to teach him, taught him first was stop. Now, there's certain words in the English language you don't want to teach that alone. It has to be connected to something because it doesn't make sense all the time by itself.
Yes.
And my son got very frustrated using the word stop because he would say stop. I think this is stop. He would say stop, and I'd be like, stop what? And they didn't teach him the other half. You know what I'm saying? So he still uses like this for bathroom.
Okay.
He uses certain sign language things to tell me
so
that
you
I know.
taught him how to go to the bathroom and stuff like that.
But he knows how to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
But it's still a challenge. I'm gonna be honest with you. My son is nonverbal, right? He has autism, he has intellectual disabilities as well. So we're in a public place. Me being a female, and he's a grown ass man, he has hair, and he can't even tell anything's wrong with him unless you talk to him and try to get speech, and you look like, okay, you can kind of see what's going on. me sending him into a public bathroom by himself, I still get all types of anxiety. This is where the fathers.
Well, you know they have the multi-family.
They got the but not now. That's more
now,
popular.
But before, no.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to take him in the bathroom with me as long as do it no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, they're like, what they going to do?
I do it, and I dare you to say something. It'd be a problem. Because I still got the chip on my shoulder. I'm just saying.
Right.
So it's part. I want to have my son prepared. Now, so he doesn't live with me anymore.
Okay.
So he does go to the bathroom on a regular.
Okay.
The group that he's with, stuff like that. But when it's just me and him,
okay.
that's still a big anxiety for me because people are crazy nowadays. You don't know who's in that bathroom.
Does he have? I know I seen a young man on TikTok. His mother has like a computer thing.
Yeah, he knows how to completely manipulate the computer. No problem.
So he does talk to that?
No problem. He has a communication device that he just types the word in. I want this. I want those. He knows how to do that. Yeah. He knows how to do that. Or he can go on Google and just type and stuff. Because when he was little, he was all about demolition and train. So I did teach him that. He knows how to type that stuff in by himself. And he's a grown man. Disabilities, he will find porn like this.
Wow.
I never taught him the word porn. Right. But he figures it out. He just keeps.
He saw somebody with it.
What?
He saw somebody with
what? He got to type. All that.
Yes.
Like a certain. So it's.
He got to type?
He got to type. And it don't look nothing like me. He got to type. It don't look nothing like me.
Wow.
Light skin, Spanish, white.
Word? Okay.
Full figure, big.
Okay.
Like I said, nothing like me, nothing like me.
Shaquan anyway, into the big woman. All right.
So, but you know, it's like.
Does he have girlfriends?
Nah, he doesn't.
Okay.
But I mean, he has.
Mom ain't playing that.
But you know what? I really. But he flirts all day. He will hold somebody's hand and show him his pearly whites all day. Like my son, grown man, he knows what to do to take care of himself.
Okay. I got a question when he was younger.
But he doesn't have a girlfriend. And I would love that for him, but he has to communicate more. However that is for me to be like, all right, do you. He ain't there yet.
Okay,
so
he's not there yet.
No.
So when he was younger, did you have a hard time getting him to go to sleep?
Not go to sleep, stay to sleep.
Okay.
So it seems that that's a universal thing. Not for every single case, but that's a thing when they have mental cognitive challenges. Staying asleep is something that they just don't do. They could fall asleep 3 hours up.
Because I had
at 5:30, like, what job you going to?
Right, I had a former friend and she had a lot of trouble with her child not getting to sleep. She said, I can't get them to go to sleep. So, like, what do you do?
It ain't for them. It's for you because you need to get some rest. Because you've been up all day with them and all night with them.
So, what advice do you have for somebody who's showered does not go to sleep?
Specialist again. Unfortunately, you have to. All right, this is the thing. They have a mental cognitive challenge, disability. A lot of the things that you will give them to help them sleep will affect them in other ways. Meaning, like my son now, he's gained a lot of weight. Okay. Right? But what it does is, for the most part, from what I've known, unless there's something new that just came out, it makes them go to sleep and sleep harder. Okay. Doesn't necessarily make them sleep longer. Okay. Okay, but they do have medications that make you stay asleep. Your son gain weight. But it made them gain weight, and then also they have like psychotic drugs for our kids because the brain is how they process is different from how we process. Okay. So the psychotic drugs that they give them affects them differently. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Yeah. So this is just what you're asking me, right? Yeah. Imagine being a parent and you got to learn all of this stuff. Right. Forget the drugs. Put the drugs on the side. Just trying to get them in the proper classrooms. You have to know, or it's better to know school policy, the laws that affect you, knowing your rights as a parent. Even if you don't know any of that, being able to get a professional that can coach you, that'll be either an advocate or your lawyer dealing with the Board of Ed. Because the Board of Ed has their agenda and what they have to do. Okay. They have a whole bunch of kids that they gotta give some services for. Okay. They're not going to give all of those kids in that school the best services because it costs too much money. So you as a parent, you going in there because you want the best for your kid. Right. So advocacy is where it's at. So there's a lot of things when you have a child that has a major lifelong disability that you kind of got to get your mind right for. It's not easy. It's not an easy walk at all.
And
So
where can these parents go to get like some classes on?
So that's something our organization does as well.
Okay.
We host workshops,
Okay.
and we have recreational fun for our kids. We want the kids to be able to go somewhere and do something in the community.
Okay.
You ain't gotta go hours away. Now this is the thing with workshops that I host, it's like pulling teeth getting parents to come. So it's not like
stigma.
It's not like
yeah,
and it's not even just my agency that's not that big. Even the big dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to like pay them or entice them, have meals and giveaways, and it's very important that you have the advocacy skill. You know what I'm saying? That you want to build it like a muscle. The more you use it, it gets better.
Okay.
You get more confident.
Yes.
You understand your rights,
Yes.
and you'll be a professional with it. You can't go in there cursing them out, even though you might want to.
Right.
They be acting like they dumb. And these are professionals that got all types of, long letters behind their name, a lot of, credentialings behind their name, and they play you sometime, and they talk over your head.
But why does that happen? Because
I don't know.
If you have the resources and the grants and all that stuff, and you can teach somebody else how to do it, like it's so many crabs in the barrel.
I do get grants. I need to get way more.
Right,
the big doors that get the hundreds of millions of dollars,
they don't want to share that with nobody.
Okay. The big dogs that get the hundreds of millions of dollars, some of them do let it trickle down and they give away. But like I said, the workshops that we host, it's like pulling teeth, getting them to come. Parents need to know how vitally important it is that they come to these workshops and learn everything. The CSC process, going to a meeting with the chairperson, and then there's the teacher, and there's a psychologist there. There's a gym.
So how do you break that barrier down to get the higher ups to come to something?
Well, I ain't worried about the higher ups. I worry about the parents that the kids with the special needs. We have to, like I was saying, the success a lot of the times with the bigger agencies, they will give away gift cards. It's like a giveaway. Oh, so the parent is going really for that, and then it's getting them in the door and educating them. Now, there's some parents that are on point. They know it's important, but it's like little. Okay, I got this workshop coming. Come, because you need help with IEPs. You need help with sexuality. Like our kids have heightened sexuality sometimes. It's a lot of different things that they can learn. Diet, nutrition, a lot of chemicals in food that affect our kids even more. They eat cheese doodles after that, they are bouncing off the walls. The chemical in the food. You know what I'm saying?
You ever reach out to S.STREET from the Locks? Because I know he does a lot of like healthy
I have
stuff.
not met him. I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
But that's a beautiful thing that he does. Such great stuff in the community. I would love to meet all of these people because it's really hard. There's a young lady in Yonkers that I've met a handful of times. I see her every so often. She has 3 sons. Her youngest was on the spectrum. She does not know how to deal with it. It's like a complete. And people of color, we have a problem anyway with disabilities. It's a stigma. And then the older the country, the worse it is. So if you're African, you come over here and your child has a disability, I mean, you might have to find a compassionate person, but they're not trying to hear his disability, number one. Don't let them be talking and smart. Like I know a young man, he's gifted, but it's obvious. Socially, he goes and pulls down his pants in the middle of the school. Wow. He wants attention. It's complicated. Like I said, they're seekers, meaning individuals on the autism spectrum. They need info, so they want to interact with you. They want to. And you have people that avoid, that they don't want, because there's a lot going on in their head, or the sound, or the smell, or the lights, or sensory stuff. So this young man is a seeker. He loves being, interacting with people. People don't always want to interact with him. He doesn't do it appropriately. There's a lot of different things depending on what your child, how they present, that you have to deal with. It's hard.
Yes.
And you're in it by yourself, and you feel very alone. And your friends will be gone. You might have 1 or 2, or family members that support you, but you will see who's really for you versus before when your kid was, or before you had kids.
So you gotta have a lot of prayer, and you just gotta do a lot of research.
You gotta have a thick skin and a backbone, because people annoy me. The adults annoy me sometimes more than the kids, because they sit there and stare. So what are they teaching their kids? So it's like, it's really annoying. So it's really hard. It can be really hard. You want to crawl into a hole and don't come out, but you have to because your kid needs you to advocate for them because they can't do it for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
And when did you start your non-for-profit?
I incorporated in 2012.
Okay.
And we had our first fun day for special kids in the community in 2013.
Okay.
And then that evolved to the.
And what's the name of your non-for-profit?
It's the Autism Project, S.STREET Inc. It's the acronym. The whole acronym is TAP Floss, but the acronym, the FLOS, stands for the love of Shaquan. His cousin auntie gave him that.
Okay.
Because she's like, all the stuff that you do for Shaquan, I know it's for the love of him that you doing this. And that kind of just stuck with me. So I said, I want to have that name.
Nice.
So now it's for the love of all the kids that, that have special needs. I don't want them to feel, some kids don't pay the world no mind. Like my son could care less about what people think. It's me. Because I know you're looking at my son crazy, right? And then there's other kids who do deal with that. They get bullied. I want them to be able to come to a place where they can just be themselves, have fun, and learn it at their own pace. How to be social, how to make friends, get friendship making skills and things like that. And then have at this particular event is held in Yonkers. I know I'm from far away from Yonkers, but in the city of Yonkers, it is networking for parents. The vendors there specialize in some aspect of helping the disabled population.
All right, let them know the date and the time.
Yes.
And where.
Or if they don't, they're supporting us. So this is Yonkers, April 15th from 1 to 5, then 127 North Broadway in Yonkers at the Police Athletic League in Yonkers. And this is our 10th, really the 11th year, but 10th year. And they host a lot of these throughout the nation and cities and places like that. And they're not created equal. Some are done very well, some are smaller, but the information that you can give is what you need to go there for. I can find you a lawyer that can help advocate to get that extra speech or occupational therapy that you need or physical therapy that your kid needs that you might not be sure if he needs, or if he needs it, you don't know how to go about getting it. Yeah. Lawyers, nutritionists, therapists, clinicians, they're going to be here.
Nice. And
we have an organization called Fit for All Abilities. I partner with them to bring the fitness program to the city. They're there. They did a demo last year where they had everybody exercise and everybody did it, including special needs. Everybody had fun. So yeah, they'll be there again this year as well.
And this one was the fashion show last year?
This is the program from the fashion show December. It was December of 2022. And we had 19 models. And from ages 3 to 20. It was cool. They did their thing. They showed their stuff, and that's what it's all about. It's letting them shine.
Yeah, I definitely gotta start coming to some of your events when I'm available. My schedule.
I know you're a busy lady.
But what I want to do is I want to interview them. Some of the ones that are high functioning.
Yeah.
Even
or they can talk to you that's not high functioning. They can still tell you who they are. This is my name. This is what I do.
No, because I'm gonna have them say it's code 31.
I know.
I'm trained them to say that.
All right, this is all set. Motivated. I get it. It's all good. I understand.
Hey, listen, my grand. Oh, and before we even continue, I gotta say happy birthday to my grandnephew, Jaden. His
Go, Jaden.
Birthday today. Go, Jaden. Like I said, how old are you today, young man? When he was on his way to school, he said, I'm 14 today.
Ooh, the bases in there.
Oh my
the bases, they grow up fast, right?
Deep boys is there. And he's playing basketball now, which is a family tradition. I'm glad,
Coach D.
He started football first. I'm like, we ain't no football family. Like football. What is going on in football? Like we're a basketball family. But he did the football thing. Now he's on the basketball thing. So his Uncle Trey got him out there in Far Rockaway on the weekends, and he didn't beat his uncle the other day. He can't even beat me, honestly. I beat Jaden several times.
He does not like you doing that right now, right? You just couldn't skate over that. You just had
to anyway, happy birthday to you, Jane. I love you. But so back to your events and stuff. I would love to do a celebrity basketball game and bring all the autism, all the
families come out,
just to have a break from everyday struggles. And stuff.
It's no joke.
And if I can get people that I know in the media to come out so they can beat them, because that's what I used to do with my basketball team. I would take the kids to Pro City basketball when the NBA had the lockout. And one of my kids got to meet Kevin Durant and touch his hand, and he was like, oh my God,
That
I'm
made
never
his
gonna watch
day,
my hand.
right?
But he's actually about to go into his senior year of college now, the
Mm.
young man that I'm talking about.
Wow.
So Alejandro Vasquez, y'all remember that name. He's gonna be playing for the University of Alabama State or something. I don't know, but he's gonna do his thing in it. He's played for Puerto Rico on the junior team.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
yeah.
That's
So I'm proud of the kids like that. But I definitely wanna, like I said, get with you and get in tune and really focus on learning more about autism and then channeling that in my autism affiliates program that I'm working on. So anything that
it's
I
like
can
a
help you
learning
with.
thing for everyone. Like as autism is like expanding, more children are affected.
Yes.
And even adults are figuring out, oh, you know what, I'm on the spectrum too. That's why I was going through these things.
There's
The
actually
numbers
a
is like
TikToker. Yes, there's actually a TikToker.
crazy.
Shout out to him. His name is the Black Puzzle.
Hey, what's up, Black Puzzle?
And he dances and he always advocates for autism. Like, listen, I have autism, but I don't allow that to stop me from doing what I love on TikTok, which is dancing.
The thing is, though, that I do want to say, regardless of where they all have treasures and gifts within them. Whether it's outward and you can see it or not, that's on us. But it's there. Yeah. So that young man, was it Black Puzzle?
The Black Puzzle.
The Black Puzzle, he's a dancing gift.
He dances on
so
it.
Yes, is they all have some type of a gift or ability, you know.
Shout out to my young guy, DJ. His mom advocates for that.
Didn't Kanye West recently say he might be autistic?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I did not hear that.
Yes,
really?
Yeah, he said it. I don't know if he said it like joking, but a lot of stuff he says is truthful, but he says it in a joking manner.
Right.
And stuff like that. But Matt was talking earlier about a young man that got beat up on the train. He has autism.
I heard about that. I didn't see that video clip. My fiance was telling me about there was a young man that was being harassed.
Because I saw some of it and I'm like, why is the girl dragging him out the train?
And it was a young lady that was trying to come to his rescue, correct?
No.
Yeah.
No, nobody came to his rescue.
Oh, nobody came to his rescue.
Nobody came to his rescue. The girl was the one that was putting him off.
Oh, but she was trying to help him though, right?
No.
Nobody,
no adult or nobody was trying to help nobody.
Wow.
She dragged him off the train.
That bothers me.
And a few other people, other kids beat him up.
That bothers me. That bothers me. I don't like when people bother people. Like, leave people alone, mind your business. You know what I'm saying? He's showing me the video right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So she's trying to just get him out of there.
No,
she's trying to bring him to the game and beat him up.
Get out of here! I can't watch that.
Yeah,
can't watch that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So see me, that's why
I can't.
That's why I have a accessory, because if I was on the train and I saw that, I'm immediately gonna attack the kids.
I would have got beat up
him.
Because I wouldn't sit there and let that happen. Like, leave him alone. Why are you bothering him?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like
Stop bullying, y'all.
I don't like
corny, and you know what I'm saying? You want to eventually get yourself hurt when you meet the right person
that
you're trying to bully.
That's right.
And
it was calling him the N-word also.
Wow. Unreal. It's unreal.
You know, his mother probably took everything within her to allow him to do something. Because you want to
trust him to go out into society and then look what happens.
I'm gonna tell you something that might sound crazy, but I'm gonna tell you something. I do not want to leave my son here. Stuff like that. I don't want to have to like pass away and leave him here. I want him to go like a day or two before me, so I know he's resting in peace, and then I can go. And stuff like that makes absolutely no sense. So the mother that I guess maybe did her due diligence to get him the training he needed, so he could understand he's on the right train coming home. Yada yada yada. This is what you pay, and all the work that went into that. Now he's on a train, and somebody want to bully him.
Yes.
Thank God. I was not there because it would not be pretty.
It's a million people with their phones out recording it instead of helping the young man. I don't understand that.
I can't do that. I can't do it.
Like,
it would have been a problem.
Why are we in a society where it's more important for you to record it instead of helping?
So now his mother is probably like, how is she feeling now? She wants to empower her son and get him to be as independent as possible.
Yes.
That's every parent's goal to have a child with a disability. To get to be as independent as possible so they don't need you.
Yes.
And with their deficits, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I can't even. It wouldn't have been a good look for me.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't have been a good look.
All
All my
shout out to
supporters
the
were like, "Oh my
Sexual
God, that
Act,
queen's in jail. What she do?" And I would have had to tell them because that would have been cool.
Yeah, because some
Not
of
on my watch.
I'm just grateful to God that I have a Sesame and I don't have to be on public transportation because these kids, this new generation, they think they can talk to you crazy.
My board member wants to bring you on camera. She's tired of looking at me.
Hey,
that's
how are
Coach
you?
D. She's interviewing.
Code 31 Media TV podcast. We are live on S.STREET Media on YouTube. See that?
Yep.
That's where we at, so you can see us live on there.
You don't want to look at me? How dare you? Let's see. As a matter of fact, Coach
you don't
D.
need to see me. I'm interviewing her. That's your people.
People are crazy, right?
Oh man.
All righty. So, anywho.
Hi, y'all. Yeah, so yeah.
So we just want to say how vitally important it is. We want to support families because when you have a child with a disability, not just autism, but a lifelong disability, the whole family needs the support.
Yes.
You have a child that has a disability, but you are individual. You probably got a whole lot of with you that you got to get right as well in order to really be there fully for your child. So the whole family needs the support. The parents need counseling sometimes. They want to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Again, the stigmatism comes in like,
that was a problem I have and I still have. I don't like people looking at my child crazy. One time I was in a bodega with my son, and one guy thought it was funny that he was smiling, staring at my son like it was. So I started looking at him, but I wasn't smiling. I started staring at him, and then he caught on. He stopped looking. Like, what is the joke?
Yeah.
It's just really hard. So many things you gotta fight for as a parent, period. And if you have a child with disability, that's just an extra thing that you gotta be looking out and fighting for, and the world does not make it easy.
Right.
And just hearing about that thing on the subway, I'm not even going on the subway no more. I live in Westchester County, so I ain't gotta get on the subway. I'm driving to the city, pay for parking, or maybe take the Metro North, but that'll be it. The regular subway.
I used to live up in Westchester. I went to Mercy College in Dobbs Ferry, so I lived in Hastings, Dobbs Ferry. Well, not Dobbs Ferry. I went to school. Yonkers, I was in there in Hastings, like Hastings on the Hudson. Yeah. Like we was right on the border of Yonkers, and then I was in the hood in Yonkers. So I lived there. I know. Yeah. Like I think I was by the locks and where DMX and them used to live at. Right. So, but I know I lived in the hood. Yeah. But it's all right. Everything, everything happens for me. I stayed up there after I went to school a couple of years, and then I moved back to Queens. But I wouldn't mind living back up there again if it's not crazy. Right. Yonkers is, I don't know, Yonkers is turning into a little mini Bronx, Brooklyn, certain areas. It's like you can find a hood in every neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Like Hastings was pretty cool. I liked living there because it was right in the middle of Dobbs Ferry. Right. On the Warburton side? Yes, Warburton. I had Warburton. I lived on Warburton. In Hastings? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. Yes. Yeah, rent over there is crazy right about now. I know it is. Everything is crazy right now. It was great back then, but now I know it. I know it's crazy. And then they build them little houses right there. The kind like they like co-op condos. Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm just saying, everyday life it could be really rough, especially summer times, weekends when there's no school, and vacations when you have them all to yourself. And what about single parents that don't have help? Like, are there any programs that they can do, like on the weekend or something, just to get the kids out of the house? Because I know that was another reason why I thought about doing this. Okay. Because, like I said, this was the 90s, early 2000s, when I was dealing with the bulk of his younger development. And if you have the money, you can always find and hire anybody to do anything. But when you are financially insecure and don't have the money for that, and your money is for your bills, there are programs. I don't want to make it sound like there are none. But you have to be diligent. You have to be looking for them. Okay. They're not just out there in your face. So, where do they start to look? All right, so there at my fair, we're gonna have Camp Pride. Okay. And it's ran by the city, Yonkers Parks and Rec. Shout out to them. They'll pay me later. Send that check. And actually, every major city has a camp for special needs. I didn't know that. I mean, I wouldn't have known that. But when you have a child with special needs, you learn certain things. Okay. So in every major city, they have a camp. So you just have to call the Parks and Recs department and inquire. Okay.
and then they'll tell you. But even with that, there's limitations
Okay.
because they want the higher functioning one. So if your
Of
child
course.
is very,
Of
Yup.
course, they don't want to put the work in.
There's discrimination in everything. Yes. So if your child is really challenged, they need like a nurse, or they have tubes and they need medication. If they're not potty trained, that's another big one.
Yeah, they're not gonna dig up.
Kids with autism a lot of times are potty trained. Their training when they're successful with it is a lot later.
Okay.
Normally 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever. It's a lot later. So it's a lot. So
But
if you
are
have a
there
child like
programs
that,
where they teach them all those aspects or no? Parent just gotta figure it out.
no. I can't say no because I know that there's a program somewhere out there that will take a child that has a disability that's a lot more severe and stuff like that. But mostly, I don't know of any. I know hospitals. I know hospitals have the kids who are more physically fragile, and other agencies that where they're in a wheelchair, they're like bound to the bed or whatever, so you have to like change their diaper and stuff like that. And I know they probably have something for them within that hospital setting, but for a parent that want to keep their child with them, I don't know of that.
Well, I'm gonna have Dr. Naima come in June. So shout out to Dr. Naima.
I might come in and
she does stem cell research and all that stuff.
She would definitely know more. She would definitely know more about that. But overall, in a community, you need to have support and services for the community.
Yes.
Everybody, not just like the typical.
Yes.
You have to have, there's families there that's dealing with a lot. They need to have that support too, but that's how the world is. This is why I started the Autism Project.
Yes.
I thought about my son, how he was growing up, how he didn't have friends. And if I didn't, there's other parents that did it as well, but I'm the one that's thinking about what our kids can do if it's modified. But there was nobody, I wasn't thinking about that. My son went to Camp Ride one year.
Okay.
He was able to make, because he's ambulatory, he's walking, he's not in a wheelchair, he's potty trained.
Okay.
But then there's a whole, it's a lot. You have to really be diligent. You have to research.
And all that stuff.
Parents, you have to research. You have to really research. Yeah.
But I love how you have all different, like the fashion show, the bowling, and
the bowling for autism we do. Yes. You know what I'm saying? That people ask me about that because that's fun, and our kids could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring my godson. He's
be killing them.
Nice. Like I used to go Sundays and watch him and his mom bowl, and like the last time I went with them was maybe a couple of months ago, and he's killing them, and they high fiving, and I'm like, look at my daddy guy.
The whole calendar
he's doing better than you right now.
Right? The whole calendar year we set up, and I try to do something at least once a month.
Okay.
At least. So Halloween, we have inclusive Halloween experience.
Okay.
We give away little, prizes for the best. There's a whole lot of them doing their thing.
Do you have a clothing line?
That I thought about, and I'm thinking about doing it in my son's name because he is definitely fine.
Yeah.
And I could definitely have him crispy on a regular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but then I was like, I don't know if I want to make it too personal to him. Maybe I should make it the autism. Don't want to give you the other half of it because I ain't good at it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But autism first, and then the secret thing second. So I'm not sure. I have to get some votes on that. Okay. But
well, I can help you with the
my son is the face.
Okay.
He's handsome. He would definitely be the face, and have him crispy in his line on the regular. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I definitely thought about that. Look like why make the handsome go to waste? You know what I'm saying?
I also have Code 31 apparel as well. So if you need help with the clothing line, I'm here. Yeah. And
I definitely thought about.
And then we were in discussions on doing a promo magazine for you. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be doing big things.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to bite off of that idea you just dropped. Absolutely. I got a couple of families that I could definitely highlight. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Definitely. That can talk about their struggles and their triumphs, because there are triumphs too. So I don't want to discourage totally. There are definitely triumphs as well. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like any avenue that you can expand on getting awareness of autism through clothing, through magazines, through sports, through anything, do it.
Yes.
Do it. Yes. Because like when I started Code 31 Apparel in 2013, I did not know it would lead to the media. Right. And then now to this you never podcast, know where it can take you guys. And now the magazines. Like I always wrote for other people's magazines, and I always gave people ideas for events and clothing and stuff. but it wasn't appreciated. So I said, you know what, let me step out on faith and do this myself.
For yourself, yeah.
And then I got the, oh, you can't do this. And oh, like with the basketball, I remember my brother, it was like, you can't fill the shoes with the basketball. I killed with that. Then I did the clothing line.
Wow.
Then I did the media. Then I did 2018, and that's where KRS-One is on the cover because he was my first interview.
Right.
And then I just started getting more comfortable with it, and the hate comes, but that's all right.
That's part of it, I
you're
think.
doing something right.
Yeah, it's part
And then as I was writing for other magazines, I said, you know what? They're not putting me on the cover of their magazine. So shout out to my boy Jerry. He was like, we want to put you on the cover of your magazine. So I have my third issue that we just launched with Chuck D and Public Enemy on the double covers. So y'all could go get that on magcloud.com.
That's
you know what I'm saying? These are on sale for $10. You got the TikTok edition, and you got the first issue, and now we got issue number 3, but that one's not $10. We had to go back up to the regular price.
Gotcha.
But we are now presenting the promo magazine. So if you want to do your own 20-page promo magazine, hit me up, code31media@gmail.com, and you can have your own promo magazine. 20 pages.
Michelle, you want to see her too? Everybody's like, bring them to the camera. That's the interview one. Code 30.
Code 31. Get your magazines on magcloud.com, magcloud.com.
Okay, Michelle, you happy? I'm talking about all disabilities as well. Not just autism. So I got you, Michelle. Yeah, I was talking about all children with major, just lifelong disabilities.
Yes.
The struggle that you can have, and sometimes they surprise you with things you don't know they can do, and you got to be on your guard extra. There's always so much going on.
And they're very creative. Like I said, a former friend, her daughter was doing art. Yeah. So, shout out to Nina, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nina. She doing her thing with the art. And even shout out to little Dottie, her mom, you know what I'm saying? She got her daughter doing art. Well, her husband passed away, had taught her how to do art.
That's
so
cool.
She's amazing. Like, I see some of her, and she's amazing. So shout out to them, and shout out to DJ and his mom, just another autism with DJ, the Black Puzzle, Rare Royalty Magazine, everybody that is affiliated with the autism family community. Yeah. Shout out to all of you guys that
I want to shout out the moms and the dads. There's some dads out there
shout out the moms and dads
that is just holding it down and ain't never giving up.
Yes.
They're sticking with it.
Yes.
But I know moms, they do this on the regular. You always can find a mom going hard.
Yes.
You don't find too many dads that go hard.
Yes.
So I always give those brothers an extra shout out. Jonathan Kimball, he sells water.
Okay.
He's an excellent father.
Okay.
He has a daughter on the spectrum.
Okay.
And I met him years ago. Shout out to you, Jonathan. He's been there for his daughter about to die. He didn't play that.
Nice.
He was always there for his daughter. I'm seeing my daughter. Okay. I ain't trying to hear what I'm seeing my daughter. And there's not too many men that will fight in that area. It's like the mother giving a little pushback and they just let it, whatever.
Now, when you do the fashion show, do you have, like you say, you do the music and stuff, do you have where they can perform at your
That is something
show?
I wanted to include this year that just passed into somebody.
There are rappers and singers and stuff.
Yeah, rappers, singers, DJs.
I would like to tap into that.
Talent part.
Talent show.
Right.
Yeah, like a talent show.
That could be good, like a good, like
a talent show type thing where they can rap and sing and show their artistic
show their talents.
Yeah, like something.
That's an excellent idea. I'm with all of that because I'm with supporting them, being their cheerleader, and giving them confidence and self-esteem. That helps them want to try more.
That's what I'm saying. Like ones that can do that, I would love to interview them and have them on my platform.
Right.
And get that confidence of like, I got interviewed by
Code
Code 31.
They say it like that. Code.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, my baby Addison, I done trained her since she was a baby. When she come in the house, I was like, yo, Addie. She said, Code 31. Her mother goes, what did you do to my child?
You gotta give her that check. Next time, her like, where's my check? You heard me say it again, where's my check?
So yes, we're gonna have the autism affiliates, and we're gonna do something like that with a talent show where we'll have interviews and stuff, and like We should get some of the artists that are in Yonkers to try to participate in
And we
stuff
have
like
we
that.
have some. That's why I wanted my brother to come. Shout out to
Okay.
Superior, my brother.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do a part 2. Y'all gonna have to come back when Dr. Naima
Yeah,
comes.
exactly. I wanted him to come because he has Most Hated, his label,
Okay,
and he has people signed,
okay.
and he does parties all the time.
Okay, well, young man, next time, get here on time so you could be on Code 31 TV podcast.
Yeah, I was 6:30. I was supposed to be at 6:30.
That's
I
right.
was not trying to mess
She
that
was
up.
here
I
on
don't know
time. Shout
what
out
she
to
had
her.
planned. What was
I
the
just
form
like
you
my guests to
asking me?
get here, a half an hour early so
Right.
we can just chop it up, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Prepare
Because
them.
a lot of people are so nervous.
Mhm.
Like, she hit me like 6:30 this morning. You know what I'm saying? So we get right in the show. Let them know they can reach you on social media.
All right, so the website is www.theautismproject-
Okay.
F is in Frank, L is in love, O is in octopus, S is in Sam.org.
Okay.
That's the website.
Okay.
So on Facebook is the Autism Project FLOS.
Okay.
YouTube has all of our videos from all our events, our Mother's Day, all that good stuff. That's the Autism Project Floss as well.
Okay.
And then let me see. Instagram, it is Project Floss, _ Project Floss.
Okay.
And then TikTok is Autism Queen.
Okay, you on TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, tell
Queen.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Tell TikTok, where they can reach you
Autism
at.
Queen, Autism Queen. And
Okay.
then I have a lot of other stuff going on. I have Diamond Queen.
Okay.
That's gonna be coming. I have a white wine.
Diamond Queen, that's the clothing line?
Not there yet.
Not there yet.
Not there. I did do
Okay,
some
that's the
TVs
that's
back
the
in the days,
Okay.
but that's gonna come. I have
Okay.
white wine I had and I sold out of it. I'm gonna do it again. I want to
Okay.
really launch it a little bit bigger.
All right.
I want to do white, red, rosé, and there's a blue wine out there.
All
If
right.
I can get that, that's perfect for
that'd be
fundraising
perfect.
right there for autism. Because everything
So
I do,
anybody that has the blue wine, reach out to the Autism Queen on TikTok and on our other social medias. Okay, before you go, young lady, I need you to say your name and say, it's Code 31.
Doc Queen, it's totally want to believe it. I'm for my kids with autism. Don't believe the hate or the lies.
Don't believe the hating, okay? Shout out to my guests. I told y'all this was going to be an amazing topic show tonight on autism. This is only the beginning. We about to collab on some things, especially our talent show. And like I said, y'all should be on S.STREET Media. We was live on YouTube. It's Coach D and it's Code 31. Shout out to everybody that supports the magazines, you know what I'm saying? The TikTok edition, the first edition, and we got the third one out right now with Chuck D and Redman. Go on madcloud.com. Shout out to S.STREET Media. Shout out to Hot Granny Midwest Superb Cleaning Service, which is one of my sponsors. And y'all get ready for next week. Listen, y'all pray for me. I'm having surgery on Monday on my knee. So I'm going to be limping in here on Wednesday. But I got very special guests coming next week and the following week. And then I'm gonna rest my body. Okay?
Mhm.
It's Coach D and it's Code 31. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's Coach D and it's Code 31. Say goodbye.
Cool.
See? That didn't hurt it.
I grew up with a cousin.
We gotta get a picture.
I grew up with a cousin that had
Now, when it
autism.
says save it, see,